أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله رب العالمين الرحمن الرحيم مالك يوم الدين إياك نعبد وإياك نستعين اهدنا الصراط المستقيم صراط الذين أنعمت عليهم غير المغضوب عليهم ولا الضالين آمين. We thank Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, the ever-existing being that has been existing before the existence of existence. When he wanted existence to exist, he created existence and told existence that I want you to exist. But while you are existing, he said, I shall continue to exist. And it shall come to a time that you shall cease to exist and I shall continue to exist. كل شيء فاني إلا الله باقي قل لا الملك الملك تؤتي الملك من تشاء وتنزع الملك ممن تشاء وتعز من تشاء وتذل من تشاء بيدك الخير إنك على كل شيء قدير تولج الليل في النهار وتولج النهار في الليل وتخرج الحي من الميت وتخرج الميت من الحي وترزق من تشاء بغير الحساب. Once again, you are welcome to this auspicious program tag DEEN Lifestyle on Citizen FM 93.7, and I still remain yours, Olayode Abdul Razak, aka Philosopher King. And with me in the house is one of our powerful sister Binta Abdullahi. Assalamu alaikum, Binta.
Alaikum salam.
All right. It's another beautiful Friday, as we used to say, and thank God it's Friday. I always let us understand why we say thank God it's Friday, because Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is supposed, to bring the world to an end today, but because if Juma service is being observed, then that means that day will not be the end of the world. So when we say thank God it's Friday, we imply so many things. That thank God we experience the last day. Thank God that Allah is giving us another opportunity in order to do more good and more good. All right, what do we have for us today? As we see what is really going on in our society today, for the past weeks now, we have been clamoring about this cashless society, cashless policy, things like that. Government is trying to bring up another policy, for this cashless transactions, and one way or the other is affecting people here and there. Some people are enjoying it, while some people are not really. It's not really sweet in the other side of the divide. And again, politics is still all going all over. This one will win, that one will win, and there are a lot of talk here and there that's also equally affecting all those things. In the midst of all this, we also see that something is not really right somewhere, and because something is not right somewhere, there is a need for us to look at it and see where we are. So today's topic, inshallah, is going to be going back to the source. Going back to the source. And what do we mean by going back to the source? Who is the source of the whole universe, the entire universe? Who is the source of the entire universe? We all know that is Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So we're talking about going back to Allah. We are talking about handling our problems with total trust in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Going back to the source, let me give one or two scenarios, and those scenarios are real life stories. These real life stories that tells us more about going back to the source. Okay, you see, there's this man. He had injury in his left leg, and this injury he has been nursing, has been trying to take care of this leg for a very long time, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 years, like that. He's been trying to take care of this leg. This leg has started getting rotted. When a part of your leg is getting rotten, the leg is getting rotten, and there is no Is there an hospital that they will organize and say, oh, these people are specialists, take it to them. He will take it to them, will come back, the leg continues. He will take it to them, the leg continues. So this man happens to be a refrigerator repairer. He repairs refrigerator. So one day he just sat down and he told Allah, he said, dear Allah, I repair a refrigerator, and anybody that brings the refrigerator to my place, I take care of it. The one that I cannot take care of, I take it to the manufacturers. I take it to the company where they do refrigerator, and they will fix it and I will give it back to the customer. Ya Allah, this is my leg. I have taken it to the people that you have given custodian, that they should take care of the health of people. They have tried as much as possible. They couldn't take care of this leg. Ya Allah, I'm giving this leg back to the source, to the manufacturer of this leg. Ya Allah, let my leg heal. I'm bringing it back to you. Let it heal. And this man said he did not apply any single medication to that leg. And that leg started getting healing. Started getting healing without putting anything. This is the real meaning of going back to the source. This is total submission to Allah. This is going back to the source. So most times when you put your trust in Allah, and this trust is an unshakable trust, you will find tranquility, you will find happiness, you will find all that you need, which is contentment and comfort. Yes, there's another scenario again. This man, his wife is in the hospital, and they needed almost like 150,000 naira because this woman is not, she's about to give birth, and throughout all the process, all the money accumulated 150,000, But this man doesn't have this money. He now went to the mosque. He prayed 2 nafilat, and he raised his hand, supplicating to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. He was calling upon Allah. And there was this man that came to the mosque. He prayed, and he was about going out. Then he saw the man, the way and the manner in which this man was praying vehemently. And he paused. He waited till this man finished prayer. Then he told the man, what is happening? I saw the way you are praying. What is really happening to you? Then this man said, my wife had issue, blah, blah, blah. She's in the hospital, and she needed 150,000. I don't have anything. I have to come and call upon Allah. Then this man just said, that is the problem? He said, yes. Let me transfer 150,000 to you. And immediately he just transferred 150,000. And this man was going, he now paused again. And I said, come, this is my card. Anytime you have problem, call me. Then the man said, I'm so sorry, I'm not going to call you. He said, feel free, just call me. What is it? Call me, don't worry, I'm the one that gave you my card, call me. He said, no, I'm sorry, I'm not going to call you. He said, why? He said, I'm still coming down here to call the Allah that I called, that sent you to me. La ilaha illallah Muhammadur Rasulullah. That is going back to the source. Have you ever come to you that you thought of a challenge, you thought of any problem, you thought of any tranquility, you thought of any difficulty in life, and you call upon Allah directly, immediately? What comes to our mind mostly is, who can help me? Then who can help me? You will not go to Allah. You not think of, can this allergy help me? Can I call that director? Can I talk to this my friend? You never thought of talking to Allah first. La ilaha illallah. So our problem basically is the fact that we don't go back to Allah. We don't return to Allah. We don't turn to Allah. We don't go back to the source. Now that we have issues in Nigeria and everybody is shouting, there's no money, I don't even have cash, there's hunger, there is this, there is that. Even the blame, we just keep putting it on man. We never knew or accept that everything that happens to us, hayrihi wa sharrihi min Allahi ta'ala. We are forgetting that anything that comes to us, whether good or bad, comes from Allah. As a believer, we must believe that Allah is our creator, and Allahu huwa qa'ima bin nizami kulli shay'in. Allah is in the regulation of the day-to-day activities of all the creatures. So if anything has difficulties for you, you know that the owner of the universe is in charge. Then you go back to him. Instead of going to man, instead of asking from man, instead of looking for help from other person other than Allah. And this is what is embedded in our Quran in Surah Al-Fatiha, where we said, Iyyaka na'budu wa iyyaka nasta'in. You alone we worship, and to you alone we are going to ask for assistance. Who are you asking assistance from? Now, who are you asking assistance from? That is why you need to go back to the source. We said, Na'budu iyyaka wa nasta'inu iyyaka. Iyyaka na'budu wa iyyaka nasta'in. It is Allah that we're going to ask from assistance from. Then today, we now kept complaining. We kept running helter-skelter. We kept fighting at the ATM. We kept fighting inside the bank. We kept arguing about election. This one will enter. This one will be the one who will enter. The one that will say will enter last time that enter, what happened? The one that will say will enter the other time that they entered, what happened? The one that will want him to enter the other time that they enter, what happened? We have forgotten that it is Allah that we're supposed to call to choose for us. It is Allah that we're supposed to call that is going to choose for us. قُلْ لِلَّهِ أُمَّ الْمُلِكَ الْمُلِكِ تُؤْتِي الْمُلْكَ مَنْ تَشَاءُ وَتَنْزِعُ الْمُلْكَ مِمَّنْ تَشَاءُ وَتُعِيزُ مَنْ تَشَاءُ وَتُذِلُّ مَنْ تَشَاءُ. It is Allah. He is the one that gives leadership to anybody that He wills, and He takes off leadership from anybody that He wills. But man has forgotten. Man refuses to turn to Allah. Man refuses to return to Allah. Man refuses and forgets his source. There's one Yoruba adage that says anybody that forgets any water, yes, they say any water that forgets its source, the water will dry off. Any man that forgets his source is going to dry off. There are three most important decisions that we are supposed to take in the surface of the earth. And one of the most important decisions in life is the decision to connect with Allah. It's the decision to return to Allah. It's the decision to go back to the source. Once you disconnect yourself from Allah, then you are no more. The river, the fish is connected to the water. Once you uproot, when you remove the fish from water, the fish will die because it has lost connection. The tree is connected to the ground. Once you disconnect the tree from the ground, then the tree is no more as well. Man is connected to the Almighty. Man is connected to the Creator. Man is connected to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Once you disconnect yourself from Allah, then you are no more. So how do we go back to the source? Today there are different levels and painted problems on the surface of the earth. And you think when problems come, it doesn't come from Allah? La ilaha illallah Muhammadur Rasulullah. One characteristic of problems is that problem is universal. Do you want me to say this again? One characteristic of problem is that problem is universal. That everybody have problem. Everybody have one or two problems. In fact, when we call it problems, some people say, oh, don't call it problem, call it challenges, because you overcome them. You do what? You overcome them. So when there are challenges, you overcome challenges. But everybody has his own. Everybody's own is different. Yours may be different from mine. Mine may be different from yours. What you are enjoying may not be what I am enjoying. What I'm enjoying may not be what you are enjoying. What I'm clamoring for may not be what you are also clamoring for. But you also have one way or the other while something is affecting you somewhere. So this is exactly what we are letting us understand, that when problem comes, when challenges come, when tribulations come, when obstacles come, when difficulties come, when there is hardship, when there is poverty, when there is insecurity, we need to turn to Allah. We need to return to Allah. We need to go back to the source. We need to call upon Allah. We need to ask Him to solve our problems for us. That is what we need to do. Allah has said it. When He said, وَإِذَا ذَا لَكَ إِبَادِ أَنِّي, He said, فَإِنِّي قَرِيبُ جِيبُ دَعْوَةَ دَاعِ إِذَا دَعَانِّي فَلْيَسْتَجِيبُوا لِي وَلْيُؤْمِنُوا بِي لَعَلَّهُمْ يَرْشُدُونَ. Allah has given us that opportunity that if you call Him, He's going to answer you. If you call Him, He's going to answer you. So why aren't we turning to Allah? Why do we refuse to turn to Allah? Why do we refuse to return to Allah? Why do we refuse to take everything back to Allah? لا يستوي أصحاب النار وأصحاب الجنة أصحاب الجنة هم الفائزون. You see, there is difference between those who are the people of hellfire and the people that are people of paradise. There are difference. And the people of paradise are these people that return to Allah. Those are the people that turns to Allah. Those are the people that knows that anything that befalls them, khayrihi wa sharrihi min Allahi ta'ala. They already know it's from Allah. They already accept it. They already understands it. They walk with it. They live with it. They have seen it as a system of their life. So, ashabul nar wa ashabul jannah, the people of Jannah understand the system. When it comes to them, they accept it. They walk with it. They say this is from Allah. Prophet Sulaiman alayhi salatu wasalam, he also understands this principle of returning to Allah. When he was looking for the this Balkis, the seat of Balkis, the kingdom of Balkis, when he spoke to and the ant listened, they understand and they gave way. You see, anytime Allah does any favor for him, what he say is Haza min fadli Rabbi. He will go back to the source. He will understand that this is from Allah. Haza min fadli Rabbi. He will know that this is from Allah. So our problem is not turning to Allah, is not returning to Allah, is not understanding, going back to the source. Until you and I understand that whatever befall us, good or bad, anything that comes upon us, good or bad, we should know that it's from Allah. So most times when anything good happens to us, we say it, that yes, it is us, yes, we are the one, I did it. Like most students that they used to say, student does that in Nigeria. I don't know if it's in all over the world. If you pass, you say, oh, I passed. And if you fail, you say, oh, that lecturer failed you. You don't want to say you failed. If you pass, you say, I passed, I got this, I got that. You acclaim what is good to you, but what is bad that comes, you refuse and you say it's not yours. Oh, it's the one that failed me. And that is how when you succeed too in life, or when you plan and your plan is in consonance with the plan of Allah, you say, wow, I did it. Wow, I know it. Wow, I'm an expert. Wow, this is this. La ilaha illallah. The first thing to do is to first go back to Allah. Is to first give grace to Allah. Is to first appreciate Allah. Is to first thank Allah. It is not by accident when the Prophet ﷺ said that afdolu du'a wa alhamdulillahi rabbil alamin. It's not by accident the Prophet ﷺ said the best of prayers is to say alhamdulillahi rabbil alamin. It means returning to Allah. The best of prayer is turning to Allah. The best of prayer is going back to the source. And Allah has given us glad tidings. He has asked us to call him. He has told us that he's going to answer us. He has said that no matter your problem, no matter your worries, no matter how big it is, call upon me, Ya Allah, and I'm going to reduce it to minimum for you. La ilaha illallah Muhammadur Rasulullah. It is a glad tidings for the believers. It's a glad tidings for the faithful ones. So the only way that we can turn to Allah and return to Allah and go back to our source is to have what we call tawakkul. That is trust in Allah. Tawakkul, that is trust. Iman, Iman or tawakkul is a form of Iman. Yes, it is a form of Iman. It's from tawakkul. We don't even have another form, which is tawheed. Believing that one, that everything comes from one person. وَفِي كُلِّ شَيْءٍ لَهُ آيَةٌ تَدُلُّ عَلَىٰ أَنَّهُ وَاحِدٌ. That is where we understand, accept, believe, and work with it, that everything that comes our way, comes from Allah. If you understand life like that, if I understand life like that, if they understand life like that, we will live a peaceful life. If you're living with your family, husband and wife and family, you have issues, you have problems, you refuse to turn to Allah, you start clamoring, you start worrying, you start saying, complaining, you refuse to turn to Allah. La ilaha illallah Muhammadur Rasulullah. You kept Complaining of this, complaining of that. In your workplace, there is victimization. This one is victimizing me. That one is doing this. Turn to Allah and return to Allah and go back to the source. In your career, you have difficulties here and there. You are looking for job here and there. Turn to Allah, return to Allah and go back to the source. Believe that anything that comes to you, everything Allah has also designed your life. Your life is a designed life. It is designed by Allah already. So when it is happening, you understand the way it's happening. You just do your best and leave the rest for Allah. And when you leave the rest for Allah, it means that you are going back to Allah. That means that you are going back to the source. That means that you recognize the source. So what we are facing today in the totality of the entire world, what we are facing today is we don't know how to handle our problem with total trust in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. We don't know how to handle our success with total trust to Almighty Allah. We don't know how to give it back to Allah. We don't know how to go back to Allah. We don't know how to stay with Allah. We don't know how to connect with Allah. We don't know how to stand with Allah. And when you say you are a Muslim, when you say you are Islam means taslim, that one that gives total submission to the will of Allah. That total submission, it means that the will of Allah will always prevail. That what happened is that anything that happens to me is from Allah. Khairihi wa sharrihi, you believe that is Allah. And when you believe, you don't complain when people are complaining. When people are complaining of hunger, you don't complain. Yes, for you is ease. For you is ease. When people are saying, it's cashless, I don't have this, for you is ease. La ilaha illallah Muhammadur Rasulullah. That's the best way to go by it. When they are looking for who is going to be our next president, just pray to Allah and be contented and be confident that Allah is going to put that person that is going to give us almost ease again. This is what we are telling us. This is what we are letting us understand. That we don't come to this world by accident. We are not in this world by default. We shouldn't have that mentality that there is no supreme being up there that regulates the entirety of the system of the world. Allah is still there, and He still holds our remote control. The remote control of every one of us, of the entire universe, is in His hand. If He presses pause in your life, you will stand there and you will not move, and nothing will happen. No progress will happen in your life. If you press rewind, La ilaha illallah Muhammadur Rasulullah, you just keep going back. Instead of you to move, to progress in life, you just be going back. It's still in hand. You need to still stand to Allah. What if you press forward? La ilaha illallah, La ilaha illallah. Allah presses forward in some people's life, and before they open their eyes, success has come. They bought this, they bought it. Oh, this, he has got it here. Before you know it, it's out of this world. Bam, it has gone. He never reigned for any, as if he did not even come to this world, because everything happened in the slink of an eye, and that is all. La ilaha illallah. If it is still play that Allah presses that play, let that play continuous like that. Let the CD, the disc, not have issue. Let virus not be on the seeds of your life. This is how it goes. But until you turn to Allah, so any of those that happens to you from the remote control, you need to do what? Turn to Allah, return to Allah, and go back to the source. That is what we are letting us understand. Go back to the source. Talk to Allah about it. And I always say this, I have a dream. Yes, I have a dream. And this dream is different from that dream of John Kennedy. This one is a different dream. Or is it John Kennedy? I have a dream that is different from that of US dream. I have a dream. This one is a different dream. Yes, this dream. I want that it will come to a time someday when the people in authority, if they want to talk about economy, they have to call the people of the book. They have to call the religious people. They have to call the ulamas. They have to call the ustaz. They have to call the people of religion. They have to call them to say, how do we tackle religion? We have to go back to the source. What did Allah say on tackling corruption? What did Allah say on tackling insecurity? What did Allah say on tackling poverty? What did Allah say on tackling anything that you want to mention? All are there in the book. The book is complete. Al-Quran al-Kareem, Al-Quran al-Kitabullah. It is a manual. It is a manual from the creator of the creators. He created the creators and he gave us a manual. It's like you went to buy a television and they gave you a manual. When you open the television, you see the manual. This way to plug this. If you don't follow the manual, the television will not function well. If you're not following the manual in the Quran, you will not function well on the surface of the earth. It won't function well. So I have a dream that one day on the television, on the radio, when they are talking about political issues, they call ulamas. What does Islam say about politics? How does Islam say we'll be successful in politics? It's in the Quran, and the ulamas will tell us, and we'll follow suit, and we'll see success. You just call one political analyst, and he will just come and engage himself in explaining, analyzing, and later on engage in what we call the analysis paralysis, or the paralysis of analysis. You call somebody, this is an economist, then he will come, you start analyzing. Let's go back to the source. Ask, what did Allah say about economy? What did Allah say about security? What did Allah say about success? What did Allah say about this? You have to just discuss that. That is the dream I have one day. And that is the way to go. That is the way to go. Unless it goes like that. If it doesn't go like that, you will not get it right. You will not get it right. We will not get it right. And we keep malfunctioning because we are not using the manual that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has sent upon the surface of the earth. And don't forget, Allah said it's not going to change any nation until they change what is in their hearts. La ilaha illallah. Yes, this change will come. But if it comes, it's going to come from your heart. It's going to come from my heart. If you and I is righteous, nobody is going to be a criminal. Nobody is going to be a criminal. So let's try as much as possible to turn to Allah. Let's try to return to Allah. Let's try to go back to the source. That is the only way. See, glad tidings Allah has asked us, call me, I will answer you. I will answer you. So why aren't we? Why are we not calling upon Allah? Why are we forgetting the source that we come from? Why are we forgetting? So the message we have for you this afternoon is to go back to the source, is to return to the source. Whatever you are doing and you are not getting it right, whatever you are doing and you are complaining, whatever you are doing and you are not happy about it, go back to the source. And the source is Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Go back to the Quran. Understand what the Quran says about this, about that. You can't come and be doing opposite and be expecting good results. You can't be doing it and be expecting good results. It can't happen. It has never happened. It has never happened. So follow the system. Follow the... That is the message. Obey Allah. Understand Allah. Remember Allah. Most time what people do is that people just know about Allah, but they don't know Allah. You always know about Allah. We always know about Allah, but we don't know Allah. Knowing Allah is different from knowing about Allah. Knowing about Allah is when you read everything about Allah. You read this one, you know it. When I ask you this, answer. You answer this, you answer. That is knowing about Allah. But knowing Allah is taking, having trust in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. May Allah make it easy. Let's go for a short call to prayer. We'll come back and continue from where we stop, inshallah. Or we can open the line so that I can call in and ask one or two questions. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Praising all day for what is and what was. Take hold of your
This call to prayer is sponsored by the Nigeria Supreme Council for Islamic Affairs.
Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar. Ashhadu an la ilaha أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله أشهد أن محمدًا رسول أشهد أن محمدًا رسول الله حي على حي على حي على
It has just begun.
Check it out.
Rescan your dial.
You found it.
You found it. Citizen
93.7 FM.
Abuja.
We are the best. The best. To 93.7 Citizen FM. Based in Nigeria's capital.
Your number one radio station.
Touch the dial.
Give thanks to Allah for the moon and the stars. Praise Him all day for
On Citizen FM 93.7, and what we have been discussing so far, so good, is going back to the source. And I think going back to the source, what we are trying to let us understand is returning to the source, turning back to Allah, returning to Allah. That is what we are trying to let us understand. I think we have just a few minutes. Let's see if we can get one call. Yeah, you can call in to ask 1 or 2 questions. If you have clarification, you can call in to do that. We have just a few minutes. If it's just one call we want to take today. Yeah, the numbers to call remains 0903 22 29 797. You can equally call 0818 22 22 205, or you can call 0808 22 22 037. You can call in to ask 1 or 2 questions if you want to be part of this program. I think we have just few more minutes to go, and we're giving opportunity for just one person to call if there is anyone that will want to be part of this program, inshallah. And the topic, as I said earlier on, is just about it's about going back to the source, returning back to Allah. Whatever you are having in life, you have to return to Allah. I think we have a call there. Assalamu alaikum. Assalamu alaikum. All right, we lost that call there. You can call us back if and when you can. We just have just one more minute to go, and I think if you have to be the lucky caller, that will also be a very good one for us, inshallah. So what we are trying to let us understand is we have to go back to Allah. It is only Allah that can solve man's problem. Yeah, Allah also has given us a template. Allah has also told us that this is the way. If you want to be perspective, you want to be successful in life, when he said this is the way, he said he has given us the way. Al-ata al-insan inno minan dahri lam yakun shay'an maskura. He said inna khalaqna al-insana min nutfatin amsajin nabtalihi fajalnahu sami'an bathira. He said inna adayna us-sabila. I've shown you the way, ima shakira wa ima kafura. Whether you're going to be successful or not is in your hand. So the success is in your hand. To be successful is in your hand. So you should try as much as possible. You and I, let's try as much as possible to be successful, so that we can enjoy ourselves. I want to say goodbye, because next week is going to be another important discussion that we're going to do here. And Bint Abdullah, Assalamu alaikum. Assalamu alaikum.